Hi, and welcome to the section Establishing the Correct Roles. In this section, we will explore further the key roles in Agile software development. We will investigate how a day in the life of product owners, development team, and Scrum Masters, or Agile coach, looks like. We will start by looking at how Amelia, our product owner, maximizes the product implementation and the outcome of the development team in her day-by-day activities. How we as developers work on a daily basis with the product owner and the Scrum Master or Agile coach to get clarifications, as well as how to engage with the various stakeholders to ensure done is truly done. How the Scrum Master or the Agile coach during his day supports the development team, aligns with the product manager, asks questions and collects feedback to ensure the fluent and successful delivery. So let's get started. Now we move on to the first video of this section that will walk us through the day in the life of Amelia, our product owner. Reviewing this video, we will become familiar on how Amelia, thanks to Jira, will set up the right environment and drives all the clarifications that are necessary to the development team to deliver the MVP, or in general the product increments, with fluency and satisfaction for all the stakeholders. In this video, we are going to take a look at some of the housekeeping as configuration changes that Amelia is doing in Jira. Together with Amelia, we will manage and detail the issues in the sprint backlog. We will get the insight on how Amelia is performing the sprint review and how she is ensuring that the outcome of the sprint is effectively ready as product increment. How the content covered becomes relevant for both the Scrum and the Kanban framework. While the main content of this video is based on Scrum guidelines, we will anyway share common practices for the product owner applied within the Kanban framework too. Amelia is our product owner. Amelia is young, enthusiastic, and has experience and knowledge in our business context. Amelia has been working in application support for large companies for years now, and she does know the challenges the various stakeholders face. Lack of visibility and transparency on performances. Never the single version of the truth on how many tickets we are working on and their severity or priority. Reports to top managers always done ad hoc. Very manual and repetitive work to investigate the issues faced by the user are driving low morale in the team and indeed bad results in terms of customer satisfaction. Amelia has the right vision for the Technis product. She is open to translate her visions in hypotheses that the MVP and product increments will verify and adjust where needed. Given her experience, her enthusiasm, and her good ability to negotiate priorities and communicate with stakeholders, Amelia is the perfect product owner for our Technis product. Amelia is fully committed to maximizing the value of the product and the work of the development teams. To do so, during her working day, Amelia will balance activities that are very detailed, oriented with others, that provides the wider picture for the product delivered value and its roadmap. This video will focus on the detailed activities that Amelia implements in Jira at the beginning, during, and at the end of the sprints, as managing the issues configuration and documenting the same, verifying the quality of the sprint thanks to testing. All those activities enable the development team to implement quickly and with accuracy high-quality working software. We will work on the other aspect of Amelia's day in the upcoming sections of this course. In Agile software development, the way we document what we do is accomplished through user stories. A user story is the description in the everyday or business language of the user defining what a user does or needs to do as part of his or her job function. The wording used to describe a user story is based on the pattern in order to the value, the benefit we want to bring to the user, customer, me as, who gains the benefit, the specific user, customer, role we focus on, I want to, the hypothesis, the functionality we assume will provide the value to the user. Amelia, and of course all of us, can verify the soundness and quality of a user story applying the invest test pattern for the user story. Always ensure that every user story is independent, negotiable, valuable, estimable, small, and testable. Before looking on how Amelia will facilitate the sprint planning preparation, let's do together in Jira some housekeeping to enable in issues the ability to manage attachments and story points. Let's navigate to Jira. http://localhost:8080/login.jsp and insert the credentials of our Jira administrator. On the top bar, we select the gear icon and select the System Jira Administration option. In the Administration navigation bar, we select Issues. Let's start from the Attachment field. In the left-hand sidebar, we go to Fields and select the Link Field Configurations. We then select the default field configuration link, and in the View Field Configuration page, we locate Attachment and, on the right-hand side, we select Screens. In the Associate Field Attachment to Screens page, we select our Project Issues screen to ensure that the attachment field will be displayed in the TEC and TEK projects. We then click Update. Now the attachment field is displayed anytime we add a new issue in the TEC and TEK project, as we did in section 1 of this course. For the story point, we want to introduce a custom field to manage a Fibonacci type set of values for the story points. Still on the Issues Administration page, in the left-hand sidebar, we go to Fields and select the link Custom Fields. We click the Add Custom Field button. We select the Select List Single Choice option and click Next. We insert the name Story Point and populate the description. Defines the value of story points we want to associate to each single story using the Fibonacci-like scale. For options, we add the following value: 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 40, 100. We then click Create. In the Associate Field Story Points to Screens page, we select our Project Issues screen to ensure that the story point field will be displayed in the TEC and TEK projects. We then click Update. Now the story point field is displayed anytime we add a new issue in the TEC and TEK project, as we did in section 1. As seen, this is a technical activity performed by the Jira administrator. That said, from our experience, in environments where Jira is the well-established management platform, very often this is done by the product owner. This is in line with the commitment of the product owner to facilitate the work for the development team. We are getting ready for our new sprint planning, and Amelia is navigating to the Jira http://localhost:8080/secure/dashboard.jspa. Amelia enters her credentials and lands on the default dashboard of the Technis Scrum TEC project. Amelia today wants to be sure that the stories for the next sprints are prioritized per the business needs and detailed in a way that the development team can fully understand them and estimate with the right level of accuracy. Amelia navigates to the product backlog of the TEC board. During her interviews with the various service managers, Amelia reinforced her view that one of the critical features to deliver is the morning view on each service performance. Amelia has already captured this need in the story TEC 6 and set her priority to high. The story TEC 6 is indeed the top priority for the next sprint, hence Amelia decides to increase its priority to highest and work out the details which are necessary for the development team to estimate the effort and to implement the correct product increment. By clicking the edit of the TEC 6 story, Amelia enhances the description of the issue, bringing to life some of the key aspects the story must implement. She could also attach any image to describe the expected user experience. To decompose the work in more manageable tasks, Amelia creates subtasks of the story for each of the bullet points added in the description. From the More button, Amelia selects Create Subtask, and the Create Subtask panel is displayed. We type the number of active tickets as a summary, and we type the description. Amelia changes the priority to High and then clicks Create. The subtask is added to the story TEC6. For facilitating this video, we already created all the other subtasks. You can find them in the documentation attached to this course. Thanks to her ability to break down the user story in a more manageable task, Amelia is going to help the development team in estimating and working on the user story more efficiently. Probably not everything is 100% clear, but as we will see later, Amelia is available to answer questions for the team and document the clarification. Still, for Amelia to fully prepare the sprint, she needs to structure the quality assurance for the user story. She needs to define the criteria under which the outcome of the sprint implementation for a given user story will be objectively accepted as done and added to the product increment. The desired business value attached to the user story, or the whole MVP, is going to be measured and assessed. Amelia navigates back to the user story TEC6 and she adds a new subtask. As summary, Amelia types test case positive, number of active tickets. Amelia then adds the description. Let's pause here and reflect on some of the key words used by Amelia. First of all, in the summary, the word positive has a critical meaning. This is the test case where we verify the positive outcome for the test case given a correct input. In terms of the description, Amelia used the pattern given, if, then, where given is the context, if is the condition, and then the expected result for the defined context and condition. Now Amelia creates the subtask for managing the negative test case. The test case where given a wrong input, we are expecting the system to provide a negative outcome. As summary, Amelia types test case negative, number of active tickets. Amelia then adds the description. We certainly can add more than one test case for both the positive and the negative scenarios. Amelia assigns both the created subtasks to herself. This is because those are the subtasks she will perform during the sprint to ensure that done is truly done. She will use the same subtask during the sprint review as formal final check to accept the user story as product increment. For what concerns measuring the validity of the hypothesis and its business value, Amelia focuses on the user story TEC6 statement. In order to have a fresh view of my service, me as a service owner. The hypothesis we are making here is that the user story implementation will help the service owner to have a fresh, daily and clear snapshot of the service he/she is managing. To measure the validity of our hypothesis, we could take two paths, or both. Qualitative, running a survey with the service owner after the product increment is delivered and ask the simple question, is this daily visualization giving you a clear view on your service today? Yes or no, and set a goal of 60+% as positive answers as acceptance of the hypothesis. Quantitative. In case our system can manage usage analytics, measure the access of the service managers to the view, the frequency as well as the time they spend on it. We could also introduce A/B type of testing, for example, displaying the information in different positions or color, and measure if and how this is increasing the engagement of the service managers. Very likely, the measuring of the value delivered by a given user story or validity of the hypothesis defining the user story requires the creation of a new subtask. It is up to Amelia to define the depth and approach on how we want to measure the validity of our hypothesis and value delivered. The threshold is always between the cost of validating the hypothesis and the cost of not being able to measure the real competitive advantage that the product increment is meant to bring. As a final note, in this example for managing test cases, we decided to use subtasks as test cases. We could also use custom issues, type, or search for some of the available Jira extensions or integrations that manages test case. We took this decision mainly for simplicity and to reinforce that the test execution within the sprint is mandatory. Every single story must be done within the sprint. We have encountered teams that reserve a test sprint in their Scrum implementation. The usage of ad hoc sprints to execute the test is a bad practice in Agile software development. The goals of the sprint is always to deliver working software that can be translated to value for the user as product increment. In addition to the test case presented here, we included in the documentation attached to the course another example. We encourage you to use those examples to define the other test cases for all the user stories or subtasks. When introducing Kanban in the previous section, we learned that Kanban does not define a specific role as the product owner. Given the context where Kanban is usually applied, for example application maintenance, not having a formal product owner could be reasonable. That said, in our experience, activities as bug fixing, verification, enhancements, design, business value measurement could easily require the attention or support of someone outside of the development team. Hence, even in Kanban, Amelia is going to be a critical actor. She might be named as application or service manager owner, or she might be the business owner. Amelia will ensure that the business value is always maximized and measured for the user. Quality and satisfaction is granted to the user. The Kanban development team has the support need to deliver quality and speed in the product increment. We appreciated the enthusiasm, knowledge of the context, and Amelia's ability to take decisions in terms of prioritization. Amelia demonstrated this by breaking down user stories in subtasks that are actionable for the development team and setting principles for assessing the fit for purpose of the product increment, as well as the competitive advantage we are expecting from the working software. While Amelia during the sprint will have a daily interaction with the team, addressing on the spot most of the questions, she anyway is also very keen on documenting the key concepts in Jira as guidelines to use during the Scrum ceremonies. Understanding better a day in the life of Amelia helped us to picture her role in the Scrum and Kanban frameworks.